Good evening, good night, good evening. Happy Sunday to everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Watch Soup Show. I am one of your co-hosts, Bobby Legs. And our other co-host is right here, Sanjay. What's up, Sanjay? How are you, man?
Good, good. How are you?
Good, man. Hope you had a really good weekend, productive weekend.
Yeah,
Uh,
the weekend went really well. Didn't get a lot done. Got a couple of videos shot, but
yeah.
mostly relaxing.
Awesome, awesome. Sorry, guys, on the chat, there might be a slight delay with my video and audio. So I think as long as the audio is good, we're going to keep going. Sanjay, I wanna know what you have on risk, but you made a big purchase or an acquisition this week.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. It's actually what I'm wearing.
excellent,
Yeah,
excellent.
it's the Omega.
Yeah, let me give you a solo
Warmer.
layout there. Yeah. Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Great little piece. It's slender. I really like the on the fly adjustment. First time I got a watch like called my own.
Yeah.
That has an on the fly adjustment. So really enjoying that. The lugs are long, but
Hmm.
it's thin enough that I can make it work. Or
Yeah.
I'm happy with how it looks on my wrist. So yeah, really happy with it. I got
Awesome.
rid of
Congratulations.
the Oris Pro Pilot and the Tudor Royale.
Well,
The
so was that a part of a trade
Yeah,
or offer to the okay, okay.
yeah. I got some really good trade values for those. So I think all in, I got about 4 grand Canadian for
Yeah,
those two, which
yeah,
it's worth it. So
sure, absolutely. No, that's awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome. I've been wearing the most of the day. I switched a little bit, but I've been wearing the Panerai Luminor. I got this first time I ever bought anything from Etsy. This green Panerai. I mean, it's fake, but because they're real straps. I mean, first of all, you can't really find the green that I like on the Panerai website, and
yeah,
second of all, they're really expensive.
yeah.
Um, and so this one, the quality is actually pretty cool. It didn't come with a buckle, so I
Oh,
had to get a buckle separately from Etsy, and it's okay. It
yeah,
is what it is. But I'm happy the way it looks. I love this like kind of like army green look.
yeah. It
Um,
suits the watch really well. It's really nice.
let's welcome everybody here. Amin gets in first. All right. And there you are. Blue shirt is third. Hey, blue shirt. Um, underachieving watch collector. Hello, sir. Peter C, what's up? Let's see here. Anybody else? Wilson. Hey, again. I feel like I've seen Wilson all day today. I've seen a lot of you guys all day today, right?
Yeah,
Whether it's be in various streams or the new Discord server that's out there.
it kind of today to me kind of felt like summer camp or something, where
Yeah,
we're all like together with the best friends,
yeah, yeah.
just
That's
hanging out
true.
all day.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. Nilo, what's up? How you doing? What's up, App? How are you guys? Let us know what you're wearing on wrist. Mike, hello, sir. Oil money watches, yeah, boy. Young XL NC. Pete, thanks for joining us. And he loves the watch. Great upgrades. So you get thumbs up from Pete.
Yeah.
James, how are you? AZMBNZ. What's going on, Jared? How are you? Hey, Joe, what's up, man? And Clam Walker. Joe C in the house. I got to I published Joe's review on Joe's Alain Silverstein and
Yeah,
Louis Aurard
yeah,
regulator. I love that watch. Such a
yeah,
such a fun watch, man. Um, Philly, Joe's wearing his Weissfield watch today, and Mike is wearing his Patty Monster. Okay, so before we jump into the meat and potatoes of the show, we always, or our new tradition is we start off with a couple of things. So we're going to go over some comments. Some comments last week. I wasn't here last week, and Sanjay did a great job, taking on the show. So thank you so much, buddy, for doing that. I really, really appreciate it.
No
And so
problem.
some of the comments here, and Wolfgang says, "Good job, Sanjay. Um, you no need for Mr. Legs to come back on Sundays." Oh, all right, okay. Uh,
This is how it is.
Rick, Rick says, "Great job, Sanjay. Never easy to adapt last minute." Very true. I just didn't have it in me. I had a rough week the week before. Was just really tired. And again, Sanjay stepping up. Thank you. Roscoe saying, "Top job, Sanjay. Awesome." So, yeah, man, thank
Everyone
you
was
so much
super.
for filling in.
Everyone was super supportive, even during the stream.
Yeah.
They were really supportive. It was really nice.
Well,
Thanks, guys.
we got a great group of guys, whether they
Yeah,
come on my stream or your stream on Saturdays,
yeah,
or I'm in stream on Tuesdays. Just a great group of guys.
sure.
Now we'll throw into your segment here, Sanjay, the reviews. So here's where we discuss some of the reviews briefly during the course of the week. Sanjay?
Yeah, yeah. So before we get started, word from our sponsors. Today's sponsor is Pepsi. Crack yourself a beautiful. I'm just joking. We're not sponsored by Pepsi.
Yeah. Imagine though.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, so today, I mean, this week we had some really great reviews. One review I really enjoyed was a recent one. It was from You're Terrific, the Green Aquaterra. His reviews are usually really exciting, really excellent. So I enjoyed that a lot. It kind of made me want it, but then
Yeah.
I remember trying the 41 millimeter Aquaterra. It just didn't work for me. But what
Did you
did
get a chance to? Did you try the 38?
Yes, 38 is really nice.
Yeah.
38 fits me great. I just got the Railmaster instead.
Yeah. No. No. Of course. Was it between the two, or was it not even close? It was you're going Railmaster no matter what.
Oh, I was going Railmaster no matter what.
Yeah.
They a funny story was I feel like they had this for a while. This
Hmm.
particular watch. I think I asked last year about it, but they didn't let me even look at it. They said they were holding it for someone. I mean, there's a good chance that this is the second one that came up.
Hmm.
But yeah, so when they saw it on the website, still, I said, "Hey, can I see the Railmaster?" And they said, "Sure." So everything that I was planning, like Aquaterra, everything just went out the window. It was just Railmaster.
Yeah. So going back to you're terrific.
Yes.
Great video. He obviously knows how to edit and take great film. Um, the Aquaterra is an interesting watch for me. It's actually, I know a lot of people, they when they think of Omega and what they buy is they usually go with a Speedmaster,
Mhm.
Man of the Moon, or uh, a Seamaster 300, right, diver. Um, I like those, but my favorite Omega in the current lineup and the mid tier lineup is, excuse me, the Aquaterra. I love the Aquaterra. So for the last like couple of years, every once in a while, the thought of pursuing Aquaterra comes into mind.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I'm with you. After seeing that video, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta. I love that. I love the blue dial. Um, it's so much watch. You get so much watch, and he's right. If you get it for like, I think an MSRP is for like 5,700, but if you get it for 1,000 less, I believe he was the one that was saying that. If
Mhm.
you get it for like under five, and in pre-owned, you can even get them even for less.
Oh yeah.
So great watch, man. Great everyday watch.
Yeah.
Um, and
Beautiful color too. That olive green, dark
beautiful
olive.
color. That
Nice.
that yeah. That I mean, I would never even thought of considering that, but I mean that's a color that yeah, that I could rock. I mean, I like, I love, that army green. I mean, I know it's not exactly army Tala, but it's close. I like the greens with the gray and the brown tones more than the greens with like the blue tones. So
Yeah.
that's up my alley. Um, let's see here. Watch Talk. Yeah, Omega AT is a great watch, no
Yep.
doubt. What's next? What was the next review there?
Next
Sanjay?
up, I watched review of a Meistersinger Metris by Peter Kotza. I'm not sure if you guys are too familiar with Peter. He is a reviewer from Australia, if I'm not mistaken, and he got a Meistersinger, in which is really beautiful. I've kind of dabbled in looking at Meistersinger, but it's never really come up. But once I saw this in detail in this video, boy, that looks like a Grand Seiko case. You know, like a Grand Seiko level case with the facets and the polishing on the lugs. It was a beautiful piece, and the aesthetic is really nice too because it looks like a tachometer on a car.
Hmm.
So, oh, I could see myself wearing that. So that
Yeah,
was a really cool watch.
yeah. The Messenger popped in my radar about a year or so ago. German watch, and I'm a big fan of German watches. I love the single hand.
Yes.
It almost like places less emphasis on exact time, right?
Yeah.
Because it's almost impossible to be able to do that. You just get a roundabout idea. What I like about my Singer, I mean, I like that watch that he reviewed. Um, they do a great moon phase, and what I mean by great moon phase, in my opinion, is that I'm not really into dials. I like moon phases, but if sometimes you see like a little small moon phase in a corner of a dial, Meister
Yeah.
Singer, like Christopher Ward, like Arnold and Son, they take like half the dial, and it's a half the dial is a moon phase. And if you're gonna do a moon phase, do a moon phase. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So, yeah, they're cool watches. Um, I think they're great if you have like a big collection
Yeah.
and you want to add something like that. Like if you got like a 3, 4, 5 watch rotation, that wouldn't be the way I would go.
Hmm.
Um, just because it's very specific. It's a very specific type of watch. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna you might wear it every day. I don't know. I don't know if you
Yeah.
would wear it every day, but
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Yeah. Accurate to 5 minutes.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
What's next, Sanjay?
So AB from Watch Collecting
Hmm.
Strategy did a great video on the Epijourn. Let me see if I can get this right. Chronometre, chronometre, souverain.
Yeah, yeah, close. I mean, better than the way I would say it.
Yeah, chronometre souverain.
Yeah.
Um, Beautiful white gold piece. I've always really enjoyed the souverain. So yeah, I mean, there's not a lot that I can say because it's way beyond my comprehension
Hmm.
in the watch world. But it's a beautiful piece, and
Yeah.
EB's videography did it justice. So
Yeah. I mean, stylistically, um, I'm not talking about what's underneath the hood yet, but I mean, stylistically, at Pigeon, it's one of my favorite brands. Um, uh, I, I, I don't know. I probably would never be able to afford one. You never say never. Maybe one day I will.
yeah,
But as their prices keeps on going up and the exclusivity of getting that watch is, it's getting harder and harder to get. But
yeah,
stylistically, I just love the way they do the numbers around the dial. Um, I love the hands. AB pointed out, like, it's a Pigeon by looking at the hands, right?
yeah,
And like you said, I'll echo what you said. I mean, he's great, cinematography wise, like, making videos. He does such a great job. And he does that watch justice, with
mhm.
the imagery. But I just love it, man. I can collect Jorns all day if I was very, very rich and had access to them for sure.
Yeah, like Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah, yeah, that guy. We'll be talking
But
about him soon, probably.
the cool thing was that I was looking at those hands because once AB mentioned the hands, I was taking a closer look at those hands and I was thinking, wow, those would be a nightmare to manufacture because they get thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner until you get to the
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
And it's such a beautiful gradual thinning out. And I mean, I don't know what the failure rate on those hands are, but oh, it's crazy.
yeah. Mr. Casio, the quartz version, like a year or two ago, was you can get them for around 10 or under, but now they're like double, tripled in price. Now it's
Right.
like almost impossible to get these at those prices from a year and a half ago. So
Yeah.
I should have jumped 2 years ago, right?
Well,
Uh,
I was offered, kind of like jokingly was offered the Elegant, and I just laughed it off. It's like I'm not
Right.
paying.
Yeah.
You should have done it.
Yeah. Should have been. I mean, like, and it's an interesting watch too. The way it kind of like shuts off and then it comes back on again.
Yeah.
Um, and you got one more?
Yeah, one last one was the Richard Lange Tourbillon from Watchfinder. It was truly a beautiful piece.
Hmm.
I think it was called uh, the Merit or something. It's got 1,000 parts in it. It's a regulator watch, so it's got every timekeeping hand in a separate subdial. So it's really cool. And the really cool part is the fact that um, there's a cutout to show off the tourbillon, and the hour track actually cut closes in on that cutout. So what Longa did was that they took away, made it so that that hour track disappears
Hmm.
from 12 to 6, timekeeping wise, hours 12 to 6. So just insane
Yeah.
engineering. I think the top comment was on that video was that the disappearing hour track was such a huge flex, and it really is. You know, who else is going to do that but Longa? It's crazy.
Well, this is the one review that I didn't get to see, so I'll definitely check that out
Oh
next
yeah,
chance I get. Um,
for sure.
Watchfinder, they just make great videos anyway, so
Yeah.
they're just fun to watch. Okay, so let's move on and let's jump into the first video that we're going to talk about. And WatchBox earlier this week, one of the things on discussed on Tim's um, stream on Mondays was discussing watch prices.
Yeah.
And Sanjay, you picked this video. Um, what stood out with you in regards to this topic?
Yeah, I thought it was a hilarious topic.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a thing in the first place, but I was thinking, this is I was laughing, I was cracking up for a lot of this, the ways and how one would dodge the question,
Yeah.
or how one would kind of deflect the question, or if the question about price was a genuine question about price from a collector, or someone else who's getting into the hobby or something like that, and family members and things like that who would be asking how much a watch costs. And I mean, this is so alien to me because no one notices my watch.
Right.
No, I mean,
Uh,
I've been asked it once. I've been asked it once. So I'm really curious to hear what the guys in the chat uh, have to say. Have you guys been asked how much your watch cost, or have you been guessed on? Like, is that real or is that fake? Because that has not happened to me except for once. A coworker and we were talking about watches, and he said, "So that watch on your wrist, how much did that cost?" And I looked at him and I said, "I can't tell you that." That's the only way I could deflect that question. Is I'm sorry, I can't tell you that. And he got the picture. He didn't ask me again. So I
I
was wearing my Grand Seiko SPGY 003, so I would never have answered that question.
So nobody's ever asked Kevin, and no one notices my watch. So I haven't been asked that question often. Maybe like, but I've had been asked that question, right?
Yeah,
Maybe once or twice, and if some and I do it the same way, and I'm just such. Sometimes I could be such like a wise ass, or so like, but not. So anyway, so like I've had people ask me, or a couple of people ask me, and I just respond, they'll say, how much did that watch cost? And I'm like, that's right. And then they keep on asking, I'm like, it costs about what it cost,
yeah,
and then usually, I try to be like, comical about it, joking around, and then obviously, then it's just like, just in the we move on, right?
yeah,
But I never really have had too many people ask. I'm like Nilo. Not too many people notice my watches,
yeah,
especially the watches that I wear. Like, like nobody knows like Zen or Gino. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So I get more comments about my G Shocks
yeah.
than about my other watches.
Yeah, I've been
Um,
asked, what watch am I wearing? Because people know I'm a watch guy at work,
mhm.
and I'll just say, it's just a Seiko. So everyone knows what a Seiko is,
Yeah,
and I'm wearing a Grand Seiko, but I say it's just a Seiko, and I
yeah.
love saying that. That's my favorite thing to say. It's just a Seiko. But no one has actually asked me, other than that one guy. No one's actually asked me how much it cost. So
For oil money all the time, I usually just tell my coworkers that it costs everything they put up their nose in the last 2 years. Okay. Uh, BDev, tell them it costs more than an older used car. In Philadelphia, it's worth $50. Just Google it.
yeah,
Um, most of my watches are Citizen Quartz, nice watches, but still just Citizen Quartz. Rick saying people would never believe what some of my watches cost. I know. I mean, like, I hear you. I think the same applies to a lot of us here. For most people who are not into watches, I think like you tell them like you spend more than a couple $100 on a watch, it just blows their mind.
well, it blows my wife's mind that it's more than $20 because she
Right,
thinks, all watches should just be 20 bucks.
right, right.
I've actually done a video in the past, a couple of months back, almost a year ago, with my wife, and we just went through how much the retail price was on each watch, and she is just dumbstruck on a lot of them. So
Yeah.
yeah,
All right, man. So keep on chat. Keep on telling us some stories about people, asking you about your watches as and we'll move on to the next one. Okay. So another WatchBox Studios, something that catches my eye because I'm interested in independence these days, and WatchBox Studios they did a video what independence should you keep your eye on, and they had the guy who actually I think now works for WatchBox, but he was the head of one of the brands, major brands. I forget off the top of my head. And they asked him, like, you have all these, and he lives in Switzerland. You have all these relationships with a lot of watchmakers in Switzerland. What are some of the independents that you're keeping an eye on? And he mentioned a couple that kind of like surprised me. He mentioned Chrono Swiss,
right,
and he mentioned Louis Monet. I think that's how you say it, Louis
right,
Monet, Louis
yeah,
Monet, and then he mentioned Kerry Blue Lannen. But Chrono Swiss is a very interesting brand because they've kind of gone through some changes. They had more of a older Chrono Swiss reminds me of a lot of it, like Breguet type styling, and now that they kind of look a little bit different now. But they created the first or credited for the first wristwatch regulator. So
mhm,
they were on my radar because I kind of like regulators for some
right,
reason,
yeah,
and so
yeah,
they created, they're credited for creating the first um, one. Yes, Patrick Hoffman, that's him. Um, and so yeah, I mean, just really interesting stuff. Like I would never. I mean, I didn't know Chrono Swiss was considered independent. I guess that makes sense. Louis Monet, I kind of don't take seriously. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should. And then Kerry Voulon, an independent that is light years
right.
um, above us. But so, what did you think, Sanjay? Are you? Are there any independents that you're keeping an eye on? Not necessarily the ones that they talked in the video, but it just got me thinking about independence.
Right, yeah. I mean, not really. I can't. I'm I'm a little scared of jumping into independence right now. I'm sure I'll get over that. But I've been, my eye has been on like Kadoki because Joe kind of introduced me to Kadoki
Hmm.
Joki.
But
Um,
Oris is an independent now.
oh yeah, I guess so. I mean, but yeah, I guess when I think of independent, I think of like a small company. Oris is independent, but then you could kind of say that Seiko's independent too. But we wouldn't really take that too seriously. Uh, I mean, I really enjoy Voutilainen's dial work. I
Mm,
mean,
yeah, of course.
it's beautiful. I mean, the picture they showed in that video segment was just made me pause the video because it was so beautiful. And I mean, FP Journe, I guess, is another independent. Um, but yeah, I am out of my depth when it comes to independent for sure. Kevin S mentioned Akrivia. Akrivia is really cool. Um, was it Kurono Tokyo and uh, Hajime Asaoka? He's really popular lately too. So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, there is that fear or concern, especially with these smaller independent brands, that if they go belly up, who's going to service some of these watches, especially if they don't have like your base movements, like an EDIS base movement or whatnot. If they create their own movements, who's going to service it? But I don't know. I think that's a fear that, in my opinion, is a little overblown.
yeah,
I think most of these watches can be fixed by someone somewhere.
yeah.
Um, you know, BDev is saying, okay, I just bought a used Toyota RAV4 for 23K. Told the sales girl that most Rolex watches cost more than that RAV4. She Googled Daytona and almost fell off her chair. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that'll do it. That'll do it.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Rick harboring another great independent brand.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
spoke about Hobring, and someone in the chat mentioned that they were. He specifically designs them to be easily disassembled and
serviceable.
serviced. Yeah,
Yep.
yep. Um,
Uh,
but yeah, I had heard of Louis Monet before,
yeah.
but I keep thinking of like some artist. Like I feel like there's an artist, an ancient artist who pictures sell for millions of dollars.
Well, there's Monet, the
Yeah,
Monet and Manet. Um, hey, Colin, what's going on? Watch nerds, we are. Pete, yes for me. Dornbluth is on the way. Dornbluth is on. Very awesome German independent. Big into small Germans like Mule Glazutz. Yeah. Um, let's see here. Love Harboring 2. Ba, 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 ba. Okay. And then, so Rick saying, I don't worry about that unless it's a crazy movement like an work or Renaissance, Renaissance, whatever. I'm a little tongue tied. Anyway, so okay, well let's move on to the next one, and this was a late entry by you, Sanjay. Let's talk about Teddy going watch shopping with Kevin O'Leary and building the perfect watch for 60. Well, I want to hear what your take. This I got a little annoyed with this one,
yeah.
but let me hear what your take was.
Well, I thought it was good fun. You know, they were sparring at each other, and it was kind of like a a dad and son kind of, you know, wealthy dad and a estranged son kind of chemistry going on. But I found it really funny at the beginning where Kevin or Mr. Wonderful was like, "Yo, wait, 60,000 for a whole collection, not just one watch." I'm
Yeah,
sure that
yeah,
was all planned, but I thought that was hilarious because thinking of thinking of Kevin O'Leary's net worth is insane. But yeah, so they went around. There was a really nice, I think, Watches of Switzerland. Uh, AD, and they had quite a selection. They went to Tudor, Breitling, Grand Seiko. They had the Toge there. One of my favorite GMT automatics that Grand Seiko's released. So it was cool to see the Toge there. Beautiful green dialed IWC Portuguesa. Uh, just some really nice picks, and
hmm
they were all, you know, kind of reasonable, which was, you know, seeing. I don't know if you guys have seen the previous two videos that Kevin O'Leary and Teddy B did together. Those watches were, you know, kind of crazy, like Vacheron Constantin. You know, JLC was kind of attainable, but a lot of those were kind of up there and out in the stratosphere. So it was nice to see IWCs, Tudors, Grand Seikos, and so on and so forth. Even a couple of vintage pieces, a Bulova even. It was nice to see. But I'm curious to see why you were a bit annoyed with this one.
Well, I'm not conceptually. I'm not annoyed. I kind of like the previous videos that Teddy does with like what is he, building a watch collection, going to the dealership and building a watch collection with whatever certain amounts. I'm not a big Kevin O'Leary fan. I just not that I dislike him or like him. I just maybe I just find him a little annoying.
Yeah,
Um, you know, I guess he's got a role to play. Like if you see him in Shark Tank, I've seen
yeah,
he goes on CNBC, CNBC all the time, and I don't know. I just don't like his his attitude. I think he's rather cocky. But I mean,
mm,
maybe you have to be a guy in his position. So, but I also like didn't wasn't impressed with his like knowledge of watches. Not that I'm an expert, but it just seemed like the first couple of picks he was just following Teddy, right? So
mm,
Teddy goes to tutor, and then Kevin O'Leary's complaining about how like he's it's all about the dial for him. He's got to pick something that's very unique, and he ends up like copying basically Teddy's pick with the Pelagus, right? I mean, sure, he got the rare, not the rare, but the more unique Pelagos, right? The black left-handed, right?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
fine. You know what I mean? But still, at the end of the day, this is not winning awards for originality here, right? And
no,
then they go over to um,
Omega,
Omega, right? And basically, Teddy gets an Omega, so he's got to get an Omega, right? And he
yeah,
does. Look, I do like his first couple picks. I like the Black Pelagos, left-handed. I like the Aquaterra because I'm an Aquaterra fan.
mhm,
But he goes to Bulgari. He doesn't. Bulgari. He um, doesn't even like him at first, and then like he finds out that this is like the thinnest movement and with the black octo finissimo,
yeah,
and then he's like, sure, let me take this one. And I know this is all good fun, but I don't know, he was just like annoying me a little bit here, and then I mean, I guess like the part that I did kind of like was like him busting what's his name's chops, and then taking in some watches because Teddy went over a limit a little bit.
yeah,
Um, but I don't know. He's not one of my favorite people. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
put it that way.
I hear you.
And
I hear you. But yeah, to me, I'm on the opposite end because I love Kevin O'Leary. I think
okay,
his character. I don't think he's always like that because I've watched some of his personal videos like on his own channel, and a kind of a different person comes out at there. I don't know if that too is another show or another act because it's all well produced. It's not just a vlog or anything. But just some of the stuff he says, sticks with me for a long time. Like from Shark Tank, the he has to wet his beak in in the deal, and just the cockiness is there. But I guess in to me, I kind of sense the fact that he's playing along. He's like working him up, because like he calls it his collection, and not just his
yeah,
collection, right?
right,
You got to have the perfect dials to have a true collection. You just
yeah,
have a collection. I have a
right,
collection.
yeah. He's all right, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he look like I said. I liked his first his first three picks. I felt like going with the Speedmaster. That's just like okay. I mean, everybody goes for the Speedmaster. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know,
And you can tell he doesn't know about watches even in the previous videos, because Teddy is kind of dropping all these facts, and Kevin is kind of trying to keep up with him in the previous two videos that they did together. So you can definitely tell he's kind of out of his depth,
yeah,
but playing along, trying to keep up. But yeah,
yeah, yeah, Joe. He did blow it with a constellation, right? I mean, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna," first of all, like if you're gonna play this game, I mean, all right, I'm sorry, but if you're gonna play this game, don't pick watches that you already have. He has a vintage constellation. You know what I mean? Like, I
yeah,
mean, okay, all right. I don't mean to be like come off like a jerk here about it, but I mean like, or like it's his game, it's his channel. He's far more successful his
yeah,
channel than ours combined in 1,000 years,
yeah.
right? But and anyway, and I don't know. Kevin S. He doesn't know anything about watches. Said watches are a great investment that everyone should buy a Patek Philippe. Um,
That was actually a video that Teddy went strong and hard against when
Hmm.
Kevin O'Leary said watches are a great investment, and I think that's what got them together. I'm not sure
Gotcha.
for sure, but Teddy went against Kevin O'Leary with that video, and that was interesting.
That was hilarious. Mr. All About the Dial picks a watch with a dial so covered in text you can't read it. Enjoy it. Right.
Yeah,
Mr. Wonderful is a WWE wrestler, Paul Orndorff. Agreed. That's the original Mr. Wonderful. Do you remember? You're too young to remember Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I only know Goldberg.
Gotcha.
But
Gotcha. Spot on Bobby Legs. Don't like or dislike Mr. O'Leary. Just apathetic. Yeah, I guess I just look. I just don't know enough about him. But what I've can gather, I don't know. I'm just not crazy about him. Kevin O'Leary is the best public speaker I've ever heard. Very different personality. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
yeah, like his like he kind of has catchphrases, right? Even like the things like if you guys don't agree with me in the comments, you're dead to me. That's like almost a catchphrase from Shark Tank, right? Because he says that quite often.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There's something about that character with the catchphrases I really enjoy.
You're just a really nice guy, Sanjay. Okay. Jordan is one of his favorite maisons. Yeah, didn't he say that?
He did,
Didn't
yeah.
that?
He did.
James checked out after he said collection. Uh,
That was good.
Pete is a no on public entrepreneurs, so not even going to be my video. Oh man. Okay. I met him the day he first got introduced to FP Jorn. He knew nothing about the brand prior. So Rick with some on ground information there.
Yeah, I believe you.
They turned out their noses to tag our. Uh,
Well, Pete mentioned that they were apparently Godfather quotes. I've actually never watched Godfather, so
you never watched The Godfather?
no, I haven't.
All right, hold on. Okay, maybe we had to do a segment next episode, and we got to get down and see like what movies has Sanjay not seen.
I live in a bit of a bubble, so I don't see a lot.
Megan saying YouTube needs more vintage content. I agree. And I'm about doing a channel with Virus Vintage Watches. Retail shop opens going online to bricks in July. Congratulations, Megan. Let's see more content. Hopefully you can teach us a thing or two about vintage stuff. Wonderful is full of blunt honesty. Can't knock a guy for that. All right. Sanjay, those are all Godfather quotes he stole. Oh, you're gonna get Step Brothers for Sanjay. What the F, Sanjay? Yeah, man. Like a Sanjay, stop the stream.
I,
Sanjay, that's
I
one
have
of the
a
few
quote.
things. Like you probably should never admit that again in public that you've never seen The Godfather.
Yeah,
Okay. So anyway, good topic.
yeah,
I'm happy you threw that in at the last minute there. Um, Next topic. Uptick watch reviews. Viewer mail. Afraid to wear your first luxury watch. Sanjay, you also picked this one. Let us tell us about a little bit about it.
yeah. This was mostly I found this interesting because I'd like to hear what you guys think as well. Um, um, I've never gone through this issue, but just to give you guys some background, this is Uptick Watch
Mm-hmm.
Review. He has a pretty successful YouTube channel. He does a lot of Rolex videos, and he's what a lot of people would call a true collector. He has the gamut of interests. He kind of goes into ads and stores just to break news and things like that. So he seems to be a stand-up guy, and I really enjoy watching his videos. But he got a viewer mail question talking about a guy who got his first Rolex. It was a Rolex Datejust, and he he can't wear it. He can't put it on. He's afraid of the scratches and scuffs. Keith is in the chat. Keith just got a really cool Oris Aquas Clean Ocean that he doesn't want to scuff up, so he just wears it around in the house. But this has never really happened to me. And basically, he has this viewer has a Smith's Everest homage or
Hmm.
copy watch, um, and he keeps wearing that watch even though he doesn't really love that watch. He doesn't want to wear the Datejust because he feels he can make that money, or put it away in a vault, and or in a safe, and reap the rewards in a couple of years or something. But um, that's funny. Oil money. I feel like it might. I I guess you guys could kind of consider me as like this, this kid who hasn't really seen the world, and how
No.
gruesome it is out there. but but yeah, getting back to it, he just can't wear the Datejust. Uptick gives some really good advice. He says just wear it, man. Just put it on, wear it every day. Do what you do with it. Make those memories with that watch, and how he wishes he had his Datejust, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, rather than going up and down. Um, but yeah, I would like to know if anyone else has gone through this, because for me, whenever I bought a watch, I couldn't bear not wearing it. I had a phase where scratches really bugged me, but if
Hmm.
a scratch happened, whatever, it sucks. But now for me, it's more like, a scratch happens, hey, that's great. Before it was, oh, what a travesty. But now for me, I couldn't care less if there was a scratch, which is why I wear this constantly now, doing what I do. um,
Yeah, I agree, Sanjay. I felt like it was really good advice. And I think Uptick was very, very gentle in
mhm,
the description of the story and what he told the guy, right? Um, yeah, where watches are meant to be worn, especially Rolexes. I mean, these are solid watches. They're built. They're tough.
mhm,
They're meant to take a beating. You know what I mean? So it is kind of I feel sad when I watch something like this, because look, I've been there. I've been there, and I've been there like where you've been, like afraid to scratch a watch, and then it changes after you do it the first time, right? After you put in a scratch in any of the watches that you have,
mhm.
the first time you do it to one of them, it kind of like well, for me, it just changed my perception. I'm like, well, I mean, I mean, it is what it is now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a hook, line, and sinker. You know, I think it sounds like the guy who bought that Rolex maybe wasn't ready to buy it. In a sense, he did have the cash, right? He did have the
Mhm.
money. He can sit on it. He's saying,
Yeah.
but maybe he just wasn't ready to actually make that jump, because you need to be okay with wearing a watch, no matter what watch it is. They're meant to be worn. They're not meant to be like hanging on a wall or in a box. That's why a lot of us have some anxiety about keeping so many watches that we don't wear. We want to wear all our watches, and if for a guy like me, if I have a rotation of more than 6 to 8, I'm not wearing all those watches. I mean, I have to be under a certain number for me to wear it. Otherwise, I let somebody else enjoy it.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, for sure.
let's see what people are saying.
Still thinking about the Godfather.
Sanjay, have you at least seen the Goonies? Mrs. Legs hasn't seen the Goonies. I'll tell you that much.
I have not seen the Goonies.
You haven't seen the Goonies. Okay.
Is it
Um,
like the Gremlins or something, like a horror movie?
no, no. Oh. Godfather watch party with Sanjay. All right.
Hey, on the
Okay.
Super Best Friends Watch Club.
Yeah. Keith E. Oh, watched The Godfather with a friend, and we were both extremely bored. Oh boy. Yes, Kevin. Yes. That almost happened. Bobby's saying we need a hard timeout and an intervention. That's your boy, man.
Yeah.
That's your boy saying that. Hey Chaz, what's up, man? How are you? Uh, that's me. I afraid to wear and own a luxury watch. Yeah, I mean, so Neil and Nilo's got some good tough watches too. So I mean, he likes the tool watches.
Mhm.
So if you're afraid to wear a Rolex, then maybe you go either affordable or you go tool watches. That can take a beating, and I'm gonna always bring up Damasco and Zen. They can just take a beating and look good for a long time. Colin again, yeah, wear your watches. I think I already highlighted that one, Colin. Uh, uh, if I'm afraid to wear the watch it, I sell it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that's good advice, Joe. Um, don't let the watch wear you. It's like buying a beautiful car just to keep it in the garage. It was produced to be used.
Hmm.
Yeah, watches are meant to be worn, not an investment. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Um, let's see here. I think so I highlighted some of the. Oh, here I just saw one that I wanted to ask you, Sanjay. Somebody asked, "What is your favorite movie? What is your favorite movie?"
Ooh. Um. Hmm.
Obviously,
Terminator 2.
Ter- Terminator 2, man. Yeah, I mean, solid movie, man.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
As a kid,
Mrs. Legg says she loves it.
I watched it as a kid, and when
Hmm.
I was a kid, when
Yeah.
when they put spoilers, when they put Terminator into the hot metal, I cried.
Oh, at the end.
Bald, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So Terminator 2 would be my favorite.
The cool thing about Terminator 2, you had that other guy, the other Terminator, who was made with this like liquid
Yeah,
metal, and he was pretty badass, for sure.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean, a great Guns N' Roses song, "You Could Be Mine," on the soundtrack. Um, yeah, I remember. I think I actually saw that in the theater too.
yeah,
Kevin putting his foot down, saying, "Wear the damn watch." I hear you, man. Afraid to wear a watch is a sign that you maybe can't afford it. Well, I don't know if that's the case. I mean, like I see where you're coming from, AZ Clayton. I just think maybe you're not prepared to own it in a sense that you may be able to afford it, but then you're just maybe not prepared to own a luxury watch that you're ready to bang up. Maybe I think it's two different things. Um, I'm with you, Sanjay. Wear them. Some Godfather quotes here: "An offer he can't refuse."
I've heard the quotes. I haven't actually
Yeah.
seen them. I have not seen The Sopranos either. Just I saw a comment.
Oh man, Sanjay, you gotta stop.
Oh, sorry, sorry. I'll
You gotta stop, man. You are incriminating yourself.
stop.
Take the fifth. How we say in the states. Take the Fifth Amendment. So, uh, Kevin has a good point. I mean, if you want to date, just get it on a Jubilee. It doesn't show the scratches as much as you would a oyster bracelet. That's a good point. Um, Jeff, collecting is a journey. Some accept it, others not so much. A lot of good comments here, guys. I'm sorry, I'm just reading them through. Luxury is supposed to make you feel good. If a watch makes you anxious, it's not luxury, it's a chore. Very cerebral concept there by Pete. I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, most of my watches are me banging them against the doorknob. Memories, yeah. Let's see here. Wow, I'm just trying to catch up to you guys here. That's how Rob ended up with UCC. Yeah. Uh, watch channel switch to movie talk. Sorry, MJ.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, but I mean, look, I mean, this is like an intervention. We almost have an intervention here for Sanjay. Breakfast Club, best movie ever. Yeah, man. It's up there, man. It's a great movie. I'm not gonna ask Sanjay. I'm
I
not gonna
plead
ask if
the
you've seen it or not.
fifth. I'll plead the fifth.
Okay. Here's another quote. Sanjay, these shocking emissions can result with you sleeping with the fishes. Chat, please, more Godfather quotes. and
Yeah.
integrate Sanjay in those quotes. I think it'll be great.
Yeah.
Best watch in a movie. All right, let's hold on to that. We still got one more topic to go. Um, and Federico did a video on. He got pretty fired up actually.
Mhm.
Overcharging and deception. Don't get scammed by watch brands. Shame on them. Rant. And basically, he was calling out Arnold and Son. He had sold an Arnold and Son watch to someone, and the watch was still under warranty. There was an issue with it, with the power reserve, I think. Um, it wasn't keeping the power, the charge, and so instead of sending it back to um, Delray, which was still under warranty, he sent it to Arnold and Son, and then they sent him a bill. And so I believe what Federico said, the watch had a basic ETA 2824. I'm sure
Yeah.
Arnoldson did some modification to it, but we're not talking about some complicated in-house movement or complicated stock movement. Modified the heck out of.
Mhm.
And so they were charging him for. They said that he needed a full service when um, Federico said there wasn't really no need for a full service. There was a part that needed to be replaced, but no need for a full service. Anyway, they were charging like over like $1,100 for the full service. Then they were going to charge him $50 for shipping, which Federico was fair, and that sounds fair to me as well. And then it was going to be another $300 for I think like a customs fee or tax, which you wouldn't
Yeah.
apply to a repair. And I know that because I had a watch that I bought from No One Watches that something happened to it, and I had to send it back to them. And the way we filled out the paperwork, it was as a watch repair. So like I didn't have to pay any kind of customs fees back or forth, and neither did they. But that just seemed like really, really excessive. $1,150 or whatever it was for the service itself on a quote unquote basic ETA movement. Um,
Mhm.
look, I don't know if you've had any experiences sending watches back to get serviced from the brand itself that was not under warranty. I had my Girard Perregaux is about a 15-year-old watch, and I finally got it sent into for service because the date was changing not at the 12 o'clock position but at the 6 o'clock position. So
Oh.
and at that point I was like, well, it's still keeping good time, and the power reserve, it was all fine. But that just annoyed me after a while. So I sent it, and that cost me, all in all, I remember the exact number, $893. In-house movement.
Mhm.
Girard Perregaux in-house movement. You know what I mean? So we sent it back to Girard Perregaux, and that only cost like $893.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So is this bad practice by Arnold and Son?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
ask you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Of course. I mean, yeah, of course you choose to pay what they ask you to pay, right? Um, Thankfully, he got his watch back, and he doesn't have to go through this service process and pay this extortionary amount of money. But yeah, well, Federico mentioned that the part that was broken was just a reversing wheel, which is cost pennies probably to replace, and a service for a basic movement like that, I think with his team was around $450. He mentioned Omega was around $600, and he said Omega is really good with service costs. So yeah, in the end, I mean, 1,200 plus dollars just seems egregious. It's not acceptable. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure what kind of team they have at Arnold and Son. Maybe they only have really expensive watchmakers who
Yeah.
charge out the nose for per hour, and so it has to be $1,200. But yeah, I really don't understand it, other than either they have a very small team of watchmakers who are really expensive, or they're actually taking advantage of really rich customers, right?
Well, yeah, but I think it's yeah, I think there's something nefarious going on. I mean, I think they chances are, right, you don't know maybe I don't know who typically buys Arnold and Son, right? Maybe it's a more refined collector who's done this for a while, or maybe not. Maybe Arnold and Son is banking on the fact that the person who's buying the watch doesn't really know. And
Hmm.
here we got you over the barrel, kind of. Here's our fee. This is it. This is what it's going to cost for you to get it fixed. Take it or leave it. And so like I think it's not necessarily that they had more expensive watchmakers who charge more for an hour. Maybe that's true. I don't know. I'm a little more cynical, and I think they're just either maybe Federico saying he's like I don't know if the sales aren't good and they got to make it up somehow. That would
Let's
be
hope
real
I'm
crappy.
good.
That'd be really crappy.
Yeah. And
Um,
I'm really grasping at straws when I'm trying to look for the benefit of the doubt.
no, I
But
hear you. I
it's
hear you.
yeah, I'm pretty
No,
sure.
you're the good guy on the stream. I'm the bad guy. You're the good guy. Grasp at straws, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Um, Rick is saying his post today that his Patek for service will take 37 weeks. Well, that's the time frame they gave him, and
Yeah.
$1,700. See, I'm not so like I never owned a Patek, but I would imagine that part of owning a luxury watch brand like Patek, that the service costs will be around 1,500 to 2,000. I mean that. So like I don't know if Rick, if you're saying that's high. The 37 weeks is a bummer,
Hmm.
but I mean there's a lot of stuff going on in the world these days. Like who knows? I mean like maybe I hope it doesn't take that long for you for Rick. But I mean if you got to send it, you got to send it.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if there's yeah, I think with Patek you probably have to send it back to them, right? I mean
Yeah.
it is what it is.
I think he got it back after 37 weeks. Because it took
Oh,
them.
this happened or
Yeah, yeah. I saw the post, so
okay,
he just got it back, if I'm not mistaken.
gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Which is, yeah, 37 weeks is crazy, but we did go through a pandemic, so, or we are going through one.
Yeah, it was a simple ETA 2892. We're back on the Arnold and Son.
Yeah.
Fed was on fire for sure. I'd like to see Fed get charged up like that. It's good for him.
Yeah.
Get that blood pressure up.
Yeah.
Um, Toxic and Son. Oh man. Yep. Yeah, he's Sanjay. You are a glass half full
Yeah.
guy. Yeah, not surprised about the price, but 37 weeks were long. Yeah, I hear you, man.
Hmm.
Um, right, Sanjay. I think in regards to that, this already happened. He got it back. That's long, but during COVID, I think that's the variable
Yeah.
that's
That's
throwing a
the
monkey wrench in
excuse.
it. Um, how much is an oil change on a Ferrari? I don't know if you're doing it yourself. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if somebody else doing it, but um, Man on Fire, another great movie for Sanjay. Yeah, Denzel Washington. Um, Sanjay, you pleading the fifth?
Played the fifth.
Okay.
I've seen the Rain Man. Rain Man was pretty good.
It was a good movie. Oh, yeah, twice, 2 times as long because of COVID. Yeah, yeah, COVID's a bummer. Sanjay needs to watch Interstellar. Have you seen Interstellar, Sanjay? Sanjay, can you tell us the movies you have seen?
I think I saw Spider Man.
You think you saw?
Oh, I guess my excuse is um I've got three kids, so
Okay.
I
Okay.
watch Octonauts, Gigantosaurus, Tintin. Whew.
Okay. Oof, okay. Let's go back to the chat. Sanjay's familiar with Star Wars, Raiders of the Lost Ark. You gotta be.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. 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 Let's. All right. Sanjay, we're at an hour. Hey man, I really like to thank you again for last week and coming through when I couldn't make it, and I caught the replay, and you're awesome. You're a natural, obviously, for sure, man. And I thank you so much. If you guys, the link to Sanjay's channel is in the description. He does a stream every Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern time,
Yeah, yeah.
and he's got a couple of great guys on the stream as well, and they talk topics and news. And anything coming up? Any reviews, Sanjay?
Yeah. I am gonna do a first impressions on the Railmaster. The unboxing video. I do an unboxing and first impressions in one go, but I was so excited to get this out in size that I just filmed it on my iPhone and threw it up.
Yeah,
So I was gonna do a bit more of a first impression, put a bit more effort into that video, and put it out sometime this week. So that's coming up.
awesome, awesome. And guys, thank you in the chat for stopping in on a Sunday night. This was a lot of fun,
It was fun.
Sanjay. We we um we got a lot of things to talk about before.
Yeah.
Anyway, for next week, if you guys can come up with a movie to suggest for Sanjay in the chat, let's get him watching some movies. Um,
Watch some movies. That's great.
yeah, and guys, have a great week, and we'll see you next Sunday on Watch Soup. Good night.
See you guys.